One rapper told cops he touched the gun and knew it was in the apartment, helping them build a case against his own crew. Another slipped during a drill, and one more dissed O-Block and regretted it. This is drill rappers who folded under pressure. Bloodhound Q50 does a split on a drill. Bloodhound Q50 was never supposed to be seen as the one who folded. He came up as one of the most talked about young names in the Bloodhounds with his real name, unknown but his street rep solid in Indiana until he moved to Chicago to run with his cousins, Lil Jeff and Jay Boogie. The three were close, sharing drills, beef, and street moves together. But when it mattered most, Q50 slipped literally. It all went down on June 8, 2024. Q50, Lil Jeff, and T-Slick pulled up to Trap City in a stolen striker ready to catch a body. Tension had been building between the Bloodhounds and Trap City over a chain that got snatched. What started as trolling turned into real bloodshed. This wasn't about clout anymore. We're sliding for revenge and a body count. They pulled up strapped Glocks with switches, black hoodies, engine running, but something felt off. From the moment they stopped, Lil Jeff didn't hesitate. He jumped out and pushed up the block, moving through the cut like they'd planned. But Q50 and T-Slick stayed back by the car. They fired a few shots from a distance but never followed. Jeff thought they had his back. When he turned that corner, he was completely alone. Jeff chased a Trap City member into a house. It should have been a clean hit, but just before he could pull the trigger, Trap City, Rob burst out the porch and lit Jeff up, point blank. Jeff dropped right there on the steps. Q50, still watching from a distance, started moving up until the moment that changed everything. He slipped on live. In the middle of the drill, not just a Triffus legs gave out completely, and he did a full split on the pavement. Some said the recoil threw him off. Others blamed it on fear kicking in after seeing Jeff drop. Either way, by the time Q50 got up, it was too late. Instead of pushing forward, he ran back to the car. He and T-Slick spun the block, circled around, and tried to grab Jeff's body and rush him to the hospital, but it was over. Jeff was gone. The drill turned into a funeral, and the clip of Q50 doing the splits while his cousin bled out went viral. People started questioning Q50's heart. Some said he froze, others said he was trying not to die. But either way, the internet cooked. Him Reddit comments called it everything from gym class warm-ups to a failed Jordan logo. Then Rico Recklez stepped in, raccoon of the drill scene's OGs and someone who had history with Lil Jeff, spoke up. He said Jeff always stood on business and deserved respect. But after hearing how Jeff died and how Q50 and Slick didn't rush in to back him up, Rico called them out hard.
I ain't like the video. I'm gonna tell you why, and I don't get no what I'm gonna say. Get mad, start a war. I ain't like the video, man, because I don't know who was with him, but they ain't died with him, man. I ain't gonna lie, folk. If I was going on the drill, my homie, folk, I'm down with him, folk. I don't respect me, folk, because you knew what the we signed up for when we popped outside, gang. Like, we go outside to do a drill, folk. Like, say if we go outside right now, like, I don't do violence, I don't do drills and shit, right? But let's say if I was doing drills, I bet we know what's going on when we pop outside, folk. Pop outside, but we finna, bro, I couldn't even go back home if my homie got killed on the drill. We gonna get killed together because, respectfully, I knew what I signed up for. So once that happened, motherfucker supposed to full blitz that motherfucker. I don't care what come with it because we signed up for this shit. So the fact, like, I don't know, bro. I ain't like that. I ain't like that shit. Made my stomach hurt. Like, ain't nobody finna die with him. Man, run up in that crib too, man.
Jumped on an interview and said what a lot of fans were already thinking. If you ride with someone to a drill, you don't leave them to die alone. Said Q50 should have followed Jeff into that house, not stayed back ducking behind the car. It's when the disrespect really started. Real Vert. Another Bloodhound member fired back and started going back and forth with Rico. Q50 didn't stay quiet either. He jumped on his Instagram story and told Rico, dead homies do something. That just added fuel to the fire. Rico responded by hopping back on live and clowning. Q50 giving him a new nickname, Q50 Don't Slip. He even mocked the exact moment Q50 hit the ground during the drill, turning a deadly situation into internet comedy.
You know where I'm coming from when I'm recording this. You see, I'm on some Valentine's shit, but they used to call me Rico Don't Shoot Him. What the f is your name is? Q50 Don't Slip? Shoot your ass tweaking.
Footage dropped, everybody had something to say. The moment started trending. People edited the video and threw clown music over it. Some fans said it was just bad luck. Others said it proved Q50 was never really about that life. Behind the scenes, rumors were flying. Some claimed Q50 only linked up with the Bloodhounds for clout, that he moved from Indiana just to be around real steppers, like Lil Jeff. Without Jeff, they said Q50 was just another rapper trying to look tough. Now that Jeff was gone, there was no one left to vouch for him. Jeff's death wasn't just another L in the streets, it was personal. Q50 and Jeff were blood cousins. They grew up together, lived together, rapped together, but when Jeff needed him, the most Q50 stayed by the car and ended up on the pavement. That's something fans and even his ops haven't forgotten. Even today, Q50 still hasn't fully bounced back from that moment. His music gets views, sure, but the energy around him isn't. The same. The people who once said he was next up now look at him like just another rapper who froze when it mattered most. The fall didn't just put him on the ground, it crushed his entire image. Still, Q50 shows he's not done. In the track, BH, STK, he raps, "Trying to mention my brother better not make it go viral like TikTok." It's clear he's still sliding for Lil Jeff, even if things will never be the same. Meanwhile, Lil Jeff's death changed everything for the Bloodhounds. T-Slick ended up catching a case for a separate double murder, and Q50. He's still active, still rapping, still dissing ops. Now let's talk about UseGZ, the rapper who dissed King Von, then folded under pressure. UseGZ built his name in the new York drill scene off energy, disrespect, and loyalty to the YGs. He was young, aggressive, and always in the mix, especially when it came to dissing his ops. But when real-life pressure hit, not in a track, not on a live, things didn't go the way his fans expected. It all started with some stolen Zaza and ended with Use running from his own crew and later posting peace messages to King Von after previously dissing him, something that got him called out by major names in the drill scene. The first big hit to UseGZ's image came during a trip to Miami with the YGs. According to viral footage and multiple sources, while the crew was on vacation, Use allegedly stole some weed from D-Thang's manager. When they got back to New York, the tension followed. D-Thang's manager wasn't about to let it slide. He pulled up on Use ready to fight, pressing him to handle it right then and there, but instead of standing his ground, Use folded, literally. Footage showed Use backing up, hands up, trying to explain himself while his own manager stepped up to square off. In the video, Use looked less like a feared drill rapper and more like someone pleading not to get touched. Then, he dipped. He ran from the whole situation while his own team just stood and footage and had a field day. Kenzo Baylor said, "Nay, I would have popped on him on bro," making it clear he wouldn't have let that slide. B-Lovey jumped in too, commenting, "Nay, this is crazy," mocking how Use folded in front of his own people. It was a rare moment in drill where fans saw a supposed stepper ducking a fade not from ops, but from his own manager. That moment alone was enough to hurt his credibility, but it got worse. Back in New York, the tension between UseGZ and Oblak was heating up. It started online. UseGZ and Shoe Baby were going back and forth dissing each other. Shoebox Baby from Oblak had called out Use's dead homies violating Heavy Use, responded by going at King Von, dropping a post saying he was smoking Von while playing NBA Youngboy in the background. An obvious nod to Van and Youngboy's beef. It wasn't just trolling, it was a direct diss to one of Chicago's most respected names.
Smoking on that dead nigga, go pick him up. What am I? Pussy ass nigga stay in Manhattan. Come to the Bronx. I can see from King Von. Hold on.
Didn't expect was real pressure from the Midwest. Days after the disc, Tay Savage from Oblak posted a video in Brooklyn. In it, he was posted up in New York telling everyone to tap in. Fans were shocked. Tay Savage is known for real stepping. If he's in Brooklyn after a disc like that, it's not for sightseeing. Oblak was outside and everyone knew who they came for.
Child on the Bronx. Tap in. Philly, Bronx, Jersey, New York, tap in.
UseGZ wasn't talking tough anymore. He hopped on Instagram trying to walk it back, posting "Long live King Von" and claiming it was all a misunderstanding. This was just days after dissing Von and bumping NBA Youngboy moves meant to stir the pot, but now his tone had flipped completely. The post was so soft compared to his usual energy that fans instantly started clowning him. For drill fans, this was a massive L. Not only had Use just got called out for ducking a fade from his own team, but now he was backtracking after dissing one of the biggest names in the game. Pressure got too real. From YGZs to Oblak, Use was folding under heat, clearly wasn't built to handle, and in drill culture, image is everything. Folding in public, especially after talking reckless, sticks with you. For UseGZ, those moments might have done more damage to his career than any op ever could. Came in the game as a Bronx youngin' with potential, but between ducking fights, trying to explain stolen weed and apologizing to the same rappers he disrespected, He showed the world that when the heat's on, he doesn't apply pressure, he folds. Now let's talk about someone who isn't even a drill rapper, but folded so bad under pressure it had to be included. This guy tried to rob someone and ended up getting pressed at gunpoint, but instead of staying quiet or even trying to talk tough, he immediately spilled everything. There was no yelling, no threats, just a simple question, and he was ready with a full confession, like he'd been rehearsing it. He named everyone involved who set him up, who stood on the block where they dropped him off. Then he got more specific. He explained how the plan was made on Instagram, who gave him the address, who sat in what seat of the car, and even which kids were outside during the hit. Every question got answered like he was doing a school project step by step. No hesitation, no loyalty, just pure panic under pressure.
So who robbed me?
Trayvon Wright
And who else?
and Kylan.
You trying to pay me with this, right?
Yeah, they sent me on the mission. Trayvon
Whose
Wright and
Instagram?
Kylan.
They sent you what?
They sent me on this mission to come do this right here.
To rob me again, right?
Yes. Trayvon Wright and Kylan. I don't know his last name, but that's
Part is he starts describing the robbery like a crime report. He explains how much money he lost, what time it happened, and what kind of guns they used. He even remembered that one of the guns had a red beam attached to it. That level of detail isn't something most people remember in a traumatic moment. But this guy, he gave a full play-by-play, like he's narrating his own downfall.
Who's the dude down?
Oh, the nigga that was in the
Who was in the passenger seat with
That's
you?
my homie Elijah. That's
Elijah.
my- Elijah.
The address you gave me, whose address is that?
That was just an address that they sent us to. They made
Oh.
us, they dropped us off.
And who was those kids standing on the block?
That's Boobop and them. They live over there.
And they,
Boobop.
nah, they was telling you we was coming, right?
No, they wasn't. That's
Yes,
not
they did.
them. That's Boobop and his
I'ma
little
really
brother.
knock you, cuz.
That's Boobop
I don't
and
give
his
a
brother.
Clip, he's named nearly every person involved, described the weapons, explained the getaway, and given up people who weren't even asked about. It wasn't just folding under pressure, he unraveled completely.
So why did they rob me? What
I
my
don't,
shit?
look, I'm gonna tell you the whole story. Look.
You don't
So,
tell me the story.
Them niggas wanted to buy a Rolex train off of me, right?
Okay.
7,000. I meet up with them niggas by El Dorado Park. They robbed me, put me at gunpoint and everything. Once they
What
put me
kind of
at
guns were they?
They was just black guns. I don't
Black
remember.
guns. Did they have?
Yeah.
What did they have?
And one had
What they had?
One had a beam on it, and then another one had
What color was the beam?
red. It was red.
Okay.
They robbed me with that at nighttime. And
What
then-
else is there? How many guns?
And it was only 2 guns that I seen. I remember it was only 2 guns. And then that's when they
Police
robbed.
is looking for you, bro.
I know the police. That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting.
And the police got you, nigga. They got you, bro.
Complete collapse. No street code, no holding it down, no fighting back, just straight up panic and full cooperation. You could tell from the way he was answering, he wasn't thinking twice. As soon as the pressure hit, this was the textbook. Definition of folding under pressure. D. Thang snitching allegations. D. Thang is one of the most influential Bronx drill rappers known for running Sev Side and putting RPT on the map with viral tracks dissing the ops. But when it came to the courtroom, that energy was gone. During a major case tied to a gun found in an apartment court, documents show D. Thang allegedly made a statement to detectives that flipped the whole situation. He told them, quote, "I touched the gun. I knew the gun was in the apartment. That's it. One sentence. But in street politics, that's all it takes to fold." He didn't name anyone, he didn't have to. By admitting he touched the gun and knew it was there, he destroyed the "I don't know" defense for everyone involved. He confirmed the gun wasn't planted, that it was real, and that someone in the crew had to be responsible. The pressure hit, and instead of staying silent, D. Thang said just enough to lock his own people in. It got even worse when Bando, another rapper tied to the case, ended up taking the full charge. While Bando stayed quiet, D. Thang's words gave detectives the confirmation they needed. Fans and street watchers started saying, D. Thang dry snitched. He didn't point fingers, but he helped. The cops figure it out. There's also a video tied to the case where D. Thang is holding the exact same gun, later linked to multiple shootings. So when he admitted to knowing about it, it wasn't just talk. It was backed by visuals, ballistics tied that gun to 3 separate shootings. Now you've got a video, his words, and physical evidence all aligning. Later on in another situation, D. Thang was heard saying, "I'm a civilian, I don't got nothing on me," trying to separate himself from the streets in front of police. But that only made things worse. You can't drop diss tracks claiming to be the face of the Bronx, then say you're not part of it when things go left. From a fan's perspective, this was the moment D. Thang folded under pressure. Doesn't matter how many ops you diss, once paperwork drops and you're seen helping the police, even indirectly, your whole image takes a hit. The streets don't forget. And Bando, he's still locked up while D. Thang's out dropping music. His name is now tied to the one label drill rappers fear the most: snitch.